It's just easier. Measuring our progress makes running my business easier. I'll never forget the extreme joy I felt when a client said that to me for the first time. This client had relief written all over her face, shoulders rolled back away from her ears, and confident. She was so scared to hire because she was afraid that in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, she wouldn't be able to afford it. But measuring her progress made making her decisions just easier. Now, I won't promise that this is the easy button, but I have the tools for you to make your business just a little bit easier. You're listening to Business by the Books, the podcast that teaches you how to use your financials to manage your business. My name is Danielle Hayden, CPA and founder of Kickstart Accounting Inc., where we use bookkeeping as a vehicle to help business owners take control of their numbers. And I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs make informed financial decisions for over a decade. Today, we're diving into what KPIs to measure to monitor hiring in your business. So in this episode, we'll learn 3 key things. The 4 KPIs, only 4, that you must track when you are hiring. How to actually use those KPIs to make decisions. How to know when you actually cannot afford to keep your team. I have a story for you, and you won't believe how it ended. My client, Emily, was one of the most motivated and inspiring business owners I had ever crossed paths with. She had started her business and grew rapidly. You would think from the outside that she was a total success story. But as she ramped up her business and started offering new revenue streams, she had to build out her team. Now, Emily was an amazing client of ours. She tuned in to every single email we sent. She reviewed her financial statements every single month. She was asking herself the deep questions, and she met with us regularly to have a conversation about her numbers. By doing this, she was able to make the key decisions in her business that ultimately saved her family from going under. Emily had added on a second revenue stream into her business. And in doing so, she needed to bring on a team of contractors and employees to manage her business. She loved the idea of being the CEO and visionary of her company. She hired an operations manager, a team of admin staff to help her deliver to her clients. What Emily slowly saw in her financial statements, month over month, using these KPIs, that her credit card balance and debt was slowly increasing. That each month that went by, her profitability was decreasing. Now, from the outside, Emily looked like she was building an empire. It was amazing to see the amount of cash and gross revenue coming into somebody's business. But remember, revenue doesn't tell the whole story. Profit tells the story. Now, I'll tell you, if you stick around to the end, how this story ends. So what are the 4 KPIs that you need to be looking at on a regular basis so that you can help your business make strategic decisions and possibly even save your business like Emily did? The first one is revenue per employee. This one's actually very simple. This is the total amount of revenue in your business divided by the total number of employees. Now, why do I want you to track this? Because not all employees are revenue generating. We need to know how much revenue we need to bring into the business in order to stay profitable by the number of team members we have in the business. So if over time we're seeing this number decrease, we know we have a problem. If we're over time seeing this number increase at a healthy rate, then we know that we're headed in the right direction. Now remember, more is not always better, because if we have a team who is burning the candle at both ends with you, then and they are not able to maintain that type of workload long term. It just means that we're understaffed, right? So we need to watch this on a monthly basis to make sure we're maintaining that sweet spot between being understaffed and overstaffed. Number 2 KPI is the percent of sales in your payroll category. Now, what does this mean? I want you to go look at your accounting software before we look at this KPI. We need to have all of your payroll accounts grouped together in your accounting software. This is part of the Kickstart Accounting Inc. framework. When we work with our clients, we apply our framework to their QuickBooks file so that we know that these categories are grouped together. So if you are not a Kickstart client, I love that you're here and I love that you're listening to this podcast. We want to help you and we want to be a resource for you. But before you try to run this calculation, I want you to go to your chart of accounts or your income statement and make sure all of your payroll categories are grouped together. Now, your bookkeeper or QuickBooks expert will be able to help you get them grouped together. In order to find this number, you will run the income statement or profit and loss statement. Those two terms are used interchangeably. You'll run the P&L as a percentage of sales for each month. So we want to see how much of our sales are going to payroll on a regular basis. If you are a longtime listener, then you know how much I love talking about the percent of sales. We work so hard for every dollar that comes back into our business. And it can be easy to think, oh, that's only $100 per month, or oh, that's only $500 per month. But when we see how these things add up as a percentage of sales, it's different when you say, oh, 20% of my sales are going to this category. I work hard for every dollar that's coming in. Do I want that much of my sales to go right back out the door in that category? We'll get back to the show in 1 second, but real quick, are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed by your finances? Do you find yourself wishing you had more control and understanding over your money? Managing your business finances can often feel like navigating a ship through a storm without a compass. But what if instead you could master your business finances in just 5 days? With the confidence to manage your money, make informed decisions for financial stability, and implement strategies to increase your profitability effortlessly. And that's exactly why the 5-day video bootcamp was created. It's a comprehensive course designed to empower you with the foundations for financial success. Throughout the bootcamp, you'll learn the foundations, how to manage costs for profitability, evaluate investments for growth, and avoid common financial pitfalls. So if you're ready to take charge of your financial journey and rewrite your success story, head over to esuite.co/5-day bootcamp or click the link in the show notes and sign up for the bootcamp today. Okay, back to the show. We did an entire episode on Business by the Books, episode 158, on the healthy spending habits for your business. So if you want to go through the entire income statement, go back to episode 158 to walk through the entire income statement. Today, I just want to talk about the percent of sales for payroll. Now, it is going to depend on the season of business that you're in. If you are in a season where you are staffing your business so that you are not in the day-to-day of your business, your payroll is going to be higher. If you are a solopreneur who is just starting to add these first few team members to your business, your payroll percent of sales is going to be much lower. I like to see this for service-based businesses, around 50% of your sales going back out the door for payroll. We don't need to do everything in our business. You should not be the one doing everything in your business. Just because you're profitable, not more profit is better. We'll go to that next. We want you spending enough money to get support in your business. So get support and let's find the right percentage of sales for payroll in your business. Now, these KPIs we're tracking on a monthly basis. And the reason we're tracking it on a monthly basis is to be able to see those high highs, those low lows, to be able to ask ourselves the questions. Why? Why was it lower that month? And what did that do for me, the visionary? It was higher this month. How did I feel? Did that give me more energy What felt right about that? So use these KPIs to ask yourself the deeper question. If you are just putting together KPIs and not actually looking at them or actually asking yourself any questions, forget putting together the KPIs, right? That's not your job as a business owner. Your job is to look at the KPIs to ask yourself the hard questions. KPI number 3 is net profit. This one's super easy. You run your profit and loss statement for the last 12 months and then every month moving forward. I don't want you to say, I'm profitable, good to go, check. We want to see you as a healthy business owner around 15% profitability after we've paid you, the business owner. So after your business owner, officer, payroll, we want net profit of 15%. You might be lower than that during a growth year, and you might be higher than that on a year where you're doing more of the work and you are not properly staffed. Our net profit is a key indicator of issues in our business. If we are highly profitable, we're probably not spending enough money in our business to get ourselves to the next level. If we are too profitable, right? If we have high profits, then you might not be properly staffed as a business owner. If you are low profits or even losing money, it's time as a business owner to take action, to look at your numbers with a critical eyes and decide what can stay and what needs to go. So if you are a business owner who has lost money for more than 3 months in your business, I want you to go back to episode 114 and listen to what to do when you're operating in the red, because it is your job as the business owner to recognize the trends and decide where to take action. All right, KPI number 4 is our overhead rate. To calculate the overhead rate, I want you to divide the total overhead costs of your business in a single month by the monthly sales. Then you'll multiply this number by 100 to get your overhead rate. Overhead is everything that you need to run your business outside of your cost of goods sold and payroll for your employees who are directly servicing your clients. So our overhead rate is how much marketing, your admin staff, your operations team, you as a visionary, if you're not active in your business, how much overhead is in your business, because there is such a thing as too much overhead. We want to measure this on a monthly basis to make sure that we have the right mix of having enough software, services, and team members to service our business without draining our business. There is a sweet spot. Now, let's go back to my client, Emily. I told you she was rapidly growing and she was hiring. I loved watching her own her seat as a visionary. She was growing her COO. She had employees who she was onboarding on a regular basis, contractors that she was managing, and she looked like she was finding so much joy from this business until we looked at the numbers. I told you her debt was rising month over month, not by large amounts, small amounts over time. And her payroll costs were increasing more and more over time. Now, about 1 year into this new revenue stream and extreme growth, she came to me and said, I'm shutting it down. I gasped. I actually tried to talk her out of it. I said, I think we can turn this around. Let's change how the contractors are billing us. Let's cut back on internal time. Maybe let's move the operations team to a part-time level. Let's change this. Let's change that. And she said, my family needs this business. I contribute to my household financials, and I can't jeopardize putting my family into bankruptcy or into a debt that my family won't be able to repay in the future. She made the difficult decision, and it was the most brave thing I've ever seen somebody do. She received so much support from her clients, her employees, and her contractors as she wrapped up this division in her business. And now, when we meet and when I speak to her, she is truly in her sweet spot as a visionary, running a very small team, doing what she loves. So I want to give you permission that every single one of us don't need to be achieving rapid, high growth. The bigger the team isn't always the better, right? She had too much overhead costs. Her net profit was decreasing over time. Her percent of sales in the payroll category was increasing. And the revenue by total number of employees was decreasing month after month. She was going to have to significantly raise prices, change her billing structure. And could she have continued to make changes and continue on in her business? Maybe. Right? Maybe. But she made the difficult and brave decision because she had been watching these numbers for an entire year and knew that they were going in the wrong direction. So as you look at your numbers every month, if they are not positive, that's okay, right? It is not sunshine and rainbows for us as business owners. Not every month is going to be rapid growth. Not every month is increased profitability. There are going to be slow seasons. There's going to be times where we make the wrong decision. There's going to be times where we hire the wrong vendor. We increase our team too fast. But as business owners, as long as we're reviewing the numbers, we're measuring the things that matter. We're measuring our goals. We have an opportunity as business owners to make these decisions just a little bit easier. All right, if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit like and subscribe. We're going to be continuing on in our hiring series. We've got 2 more episodes. I hope you're enjoying this hiring series, and we'll see you next week. I have a favor to ask. If you have gotten any value from this show and you want the show to continue to grow and keep providing you with strategies for financial growth and efficiency, simply leave us a rating and review if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. Those reviews really go a long way in attracting more listeners, and honestly, they really make my day. So if you're feeling up to it, we'd love to see a rating and review from you. Either way, thanks so much for listening to the show.